Good evening and welcome to the YouTube channel for Pilates Studio New Forest. We put a new video up every single week, so if you'd like to press subscribe now, then you will get a notification for that. Tonight we're going to be working with my most favourite piece of equipment, the foam roller. If you have got a long one, a full length one, that's all you need for tonight's class. But if you haven't, these small ones are fab and they can be used for nearly all of the moves. But what I will need you to do is grab a full-size bath towel, if that's okay, and you can roll that up and put that down your spine when we're laying on it full length, and that will be absolutely fab. So I'll let you grab your equipment and I will see you in a moment. So we are going to start tonight's class standing up, and as I say, you can do this part with a long or a short foam roller. We're just going to wake up the shoulders a little bit, get a bit of movement into our spine. So I want you to stand with your feet about hip distance apart, please. And we're thinking insides of your hips. So these are about as narrow as your cheekbones. So often as women, we stand quite wide. Think about having the weight even in your feet, please. And I'd like you to breathe in and lift your foam roller up. And your arms might not go up to your ears. And exhale, come on down, but they'll start to eventually lift a bit higher each time. So we inhale, lift. I just lift as high as I can without my rib cage beginning to flare. So sometimes what I see when we're in class is people want to lift the arms up high, but then the bum starts poking out and the ribs start popping out. And there we go, we have lost the movement in the shoulders and we're taking it into our back. And we don't want that. We don't want the spine moving much, not yet. Two more, please. So I'm not squeezing my foam roller, I'm just holding it. Last one. I'd like you to hold it there. Imagine there's a pane of glass in front of you and behind you, and give me a side bend. So you're just gliding through those two panes of glass, and then let's lift up. I want you to work with your breath. Let us inhale, take it over. And use your exhale to lift you, taking your time. Just enjoying slowing things down a little bit. I know it's half term, so for many people it will be quite busy at the moment. Mind you, I think it's even busier when we're homeschooling at the moment. Take it over. And then lift. Lower your arms down. Suddenly my foam roller is quite heavy. And we lift again, so breathing in, lifting. And exhale, we lower. So let's think what's happening with our feet. As we lift our arms up, we're not shifting all the weight into our heels, hopefully. So you've got a really equal foot connection, all 10 toes. Balls of your feet and your heels, lifting up. And lowering down, just feeling that movement happening in your shoulders. Lifting up. And we're going to pause here again. Just make sure your knees are not locked out. I'd like you to side bend. But this time we're going to add a twist. So your hip bones still face forwards, but your rib cage spins to face the mat. Spin back to me, depending on where your camera is, and lift back up to the ceiling. So we side bend, 3 more like this. Take it over. Spin the rib cage, reach through that top arm for the stretch in the shoulder. Spin back to facing forwards and lifting tall. 2 more. Side bend. Rotation, spinning back to me, and lifting tall. Last time, please, take it over. Spin those ribs, lift to me, and up to the ceiling. So we're gonna add like a round the world movement. I'd like you to side bend, and then you roll forwards, the foam roller comes towards your knees, you spin up to the other side, and then you lift up to your starting position. So we're just really working through the spine now. Take it the other way. So we side bend. We roll through center. Roll up the other side. Back to your starting position. 2 more, please. Take it over. Spin down, pulling your belly up towards your backbone. And coming up, breathing the whole time, letting your breath help your spine move fluidly. Over, down. Oh, lift up. I love that movement. We're going to add a roll down. I'd like you to take a deep breath in As you exhale, bring your foam roller down and roll on down. So I'm trying to keep the crown of my head lined up with my foam roller here. Think about what your feet are doing. Is the weight still equal in your feet? Making sure you've not locked your knees. Take a deep breath in and exhale, rebuild your spine. And then inhale, we lift the foam roller up. Exhale, we roll down all of the breath pouring out of our lungs. Inhale, hold it. Can you go a little heavier? And exhale, stack the spine up. I made a little video of me doing squats earlier on, balancing on the foam roller. I thought I was being funny, but I've had about 20 messages asking that we mustn't do squats balancing on the foam roller, so I promise we're not doing any. That's the last time I'll try and be funny. Okay, exhale, rolling up. We will be doing squats though, just not with both feet on the roller, lifting up. Okay, lower your foam roller down and take your feet a little bit further apart. And we're going to squat, so again we're going to think dirty toilet behind us, broken door, so reach those arms. And just pause for me. Make sure your knees are lined up with your toes. And we lift on up. So just 7 more. We've got a lot to get through tonight. 7, reach that foam roller forwards. Use your exhale to lift you. And 6, press your bum back further. And lift. So you can hover your toes, or you can just make sure you don't have weight in them. It's up to you. But we're thinking about the bum going back and the knees not knocking in. 4. Pressing into your heels to lift you. And 3. And lift. 2, make sure your neck is still long here, your head hasn't gone heavy. Your spine, in fact, isn't really losing its natural shape. Take it down, and we're just going to pulse up and down here. It's not a bounce, it's a deliberate lift, drop, give me 5, 4, 3, still no weight in your toes, please, 2, and 1, hold it there, and come on up. We're going to lunge, so I'm going to step my left foot forwards, first of all, my right leg back. So I've got quite a long step forwards here, and I would like you just to bend your right knee and lift your foam roller up. And then lift your gaze up to the ceiling. Bring your foam roller in front of you and twist to the left. And center. Okay, your foam roller lowers as you just straighten that back leg. 5 more, please. Bend the knee, reach your arms up and then look up. Bring your foam roller to chest height. Keep your nose in alignment with the center of it as you spin. And center, and release from it. 4 more. So as you lift your gaze and you lift the foam roller up, you're really stretching the front of the right hip, and then to chest height. And then keep your nose lined up with it as you twist, and center, and up we come. 3 more, my legs are so achy today. Lunge and lift, gaze up, and to center. And spin to the left-hand side of the room. Big smiles. And center. And lift. I can't remember how many I've got. 2, I reckon. Gaze up. Mark always laughs at my counting. Back to chest height. Spin to the left, but both knees are facing forwards. And center. Lift up. 1 more time, please. Feel that hip extension in the front of your right hip for that stretch. Back to chest height, spin it round, center, and come on up. My legs are shaking. I'm going to take the left leg back, and there's a good chance I'm going to be more wobbly here. So also, you want to make sure, this would be this leg for you, make sure your back foot, your toes aren't spilling out to the side. So toes are facing forwards on both feet. Okay, lunge, gaze up. Center, twist, back to facing forwards, and we come on up. I'm going to try and count this time. 5, bend the knee, lift your breastbone. Bring it to chest height. Nothing else moves apart from the ribcage spins. Center and lift. 4 more. We're going to lay on this in a moment, so it's going to get nice after this. Lunge with a twist. Back to center. And come on up. I've got a feeling I missed something there. 2 more. Lift up. Chest height. Take it to the right. And center. Oh, come on up. My legs are definitely shaking. Last one, please. Can you get that back knee down a bit deeper? Gaze up. Reach those arms. Back to chest height. Taking it to the right. Center. Oh, come on up. Well done. We're going to take our foam roller or our rolled up towel down the length of our mats now. Most of these moves can actually be done just on the mat. So if anything ever doesn't feel right for you, make sure you adapt. Okay, so I'm sat at the very end of my foam roller or my rolled up towel. You can come down slowly with your arms reaching, or if you would like, you can have your hands on the floor to guide you down. But just get yourself into a comfortable position. As always, if you've got a ponytail, you might need to take it out now so you can keep your neck aligned. I would like you just to become acquainted with your foam roller, so close your eyes. Let your shoulders go heavy and bring your focus to your breath. So your knees are bent, your feet are on the floor. Breathing in through your nose, feeling your ribcage expand. And exhale completely through your mouth and feel everything going heavy on your foam roller. And again, breathing in deeply. And exhale completely. And when you're ready, lift both arms up to the ceiling. Now reach your fingertips up, feel your shoulder blades stretch apart from one another. And then let the shoulder blades come down and wrap around the foam roller or your towel. We breathe in, lift the arms, try and touch the ceiling. And then exhale, the shoulder blades wrap down and round. And keep going there, working with the length of your breath. Getting as much movement through the shoulders as possible. So we're just stretching out any tightness we might be holding on to. Getting a little bit of a release through the shoulders. Last time, lift up. And then let the shoulder blades go heavy. Take your arms wide, so from a bird's eye view, you're like a capital T with your palms facing up to the ceiling. Just feel that openness in your chest. Let the elbows soften a little bit so you're not fighting them, and feel that stretch so your arms are wide, you've got a full wingspan. Just take a couple of deep breaths here. Just feel that release, feel that chest open, stretching through your pecs. And then lift the arms again so your fingertips are up to the ceiling. Now I want you to feel your ribcage dropping heavy and take your arms towards your ears. How far back can you go without the ribs popping up into your t-shirt? And then lift them to the ceiling again. And you sweep the arms back, your neck stays long, your ribs stay heavy. And then lift to the ceiling again. 2 more. Inhale back. And exhale, lift. So we're letting go of any tension we're holding on to in our shoulders. Inhale back. Your back's not arching here. And exhale, lift. We're going to add some circles here. So we take the arms back towards or to the floor behind you. Let your elbows bend so your hands meet the floor, soft bend, and then sweep your arms round on the floor and they come down to your sides. 3 more. Inhale, take the arms back, drop your ribcage heavy. Soften the elbows if it helps you get your hands to the floor, and then exhale, sweep your arms out and round. 2 more, breathing in and breathing out completely, just letting your breath slow down. One more time, please. Your shoulders should feel glorious after this. We finish with our hands down by our sides and then we change direction. So remember, don't fight your elbows. Breathe in, take the arms wide. And then exhale, they go up to the ceiling and down by your sides again. 3 more, inhale. Where are the ribs? Are they sinking down? Exhale, bring the arms down. 2 more, so if you're working at a slight different time to me, that is absolutely fine. Just making sure you're getting the most from every single move. Last time, please, take them wide. And we finish with our arms down by our sides this time. And again, feel the shoulder blades wrap down and around your foam roller or your towel so they're hugging it. Using our hands a little bit, pressing them into the mat, I'd like you to pick your left leg up. And then we pick our right leg up, knees are bent. Take your left foot down. Take your right foot down. Right leg up this time. Left leg up. Right foot down. Left foot down. So it's a hinge at the hip. Left leg up, the bend in the knee doesn't change. Right leg up. Left foot down. Right foot down. One more time, right leg picks up. Think about staying really strong from your center. Left leg. Right foot down. Left foot down. Okay, we're gonna add to this. Can we please pick our left leg up and then lift our right arm up towards the ceiling. We're gonna straighten our left leg up. My legs are really tight. And we are going to lengthen the left leg forwards and the right leg back. And then we lift up. So we're lengthening across the diagonal of the body. 4 more. Breathe in, go long to the wall in front of you and to the wall behind you. And then we exhale, lift. Give me 3. Inhale. Ribs still heavy. And exhale, feel yourself really strengthening as you lift and lower. 2, long in-breath. Full exhale. Last one. Can we get that long leg a little bit closer to us this time so we feel the stretch down the back of the leg? And then take it down and reset. So switching sides. And one side might feel very different to the other. So shoulder blades still wrapping round. Right leg floats up. Oh, blimey, I think this is my harder side. Oh, it is. Left arm lifts. Right leg straightens. Can you get it closer towards you? And then we go long. So this is a dead bug variation. I love the name of these. And we lift. And 4, inhale, lengthen. As long as you can. And exhale, lift. And 3, I'm definitely a lot more wobbly on this side. And 2, your neck is still long, your gaze is up to the ceiling. Try not to grip on that right hand. I seem to be making a knuckle and I didn't realise. Last one, please. And lift. And then take it down. Okay, we are going to find our balance. So we're going to take our hands away now, so everything has to work harder. We're going to take our hands behind our head. Your elbows are going to go wide. We're going to do a bit of a crisscross, but we're going to keep both feet on the floor. So I would like you, please, to lift up your head, neck and shoulders. Twist to the left. Come to center. Take it down. So we're trying to think about the hips and the legs staying quiet. This is from the waist upwards. So we lift. Twist to the right. Come to center. And take it down. Remember, all of this can be done on the mat if it doesn't work for you. We lift. We twist left, ring out the waist. Back to center, shoulders higher and lower. So you're not pulling yourself up with your hand, you're lifting, you're just supporting the weight of the head. Twist. Center, pause, shoulders up and lower. So remember, come down to the mat if that feels better for you. 2 more, lift. twist. I love that we're challenging our balance the whole time being on this foam roller. So it really integrates so many more muscles, those deep stabilizing muscles. Lift, twist, center, lower down, and bring your arms back down. Press your hands into the mat. Okay, let those shoulder blades go heavy. We're going to do some double leg work. Again, if you want to come onto the floor, you absolutely can. I pick my left leg up in towards my chest. I'm going to let it drop in close. And then the same with my right leg. Now we're going to go for a bit of a single leg stretch. So I'm going to keep my right leg close to me and take my left leg long. It's not really low. I'm not hanging out from the hip. That leg is strong. And I'm going to switch legs. And I switch. And I reach one leg as long as possible as the other thigh drops close to my belly. Give me 6. And 5. And 4. Make sure you're not holding your breath. 3. 2. And 1. Both legs fold in. I'd like you to keep the knuckles of the big toes together. Open your knees wide, so like a clam. Now you're going to lower your toes towards the floor a little bit, but make sure your abdominals stay pulled in, they're not doming. I bring my knees together and I lift them up. Just 3 more. My knees open like a clam. I tap my toes towards the mat. I close my knees and I lift. Nothing's pulling anywhere. 2, open. Tap your toes down towards the mat. Squeeze your knees close. And lift. Last one, then we're going to reverse it. Knees wide, toes tap, belly pulls in, knees squeeze close, and you lift. We reverse for 4. Tap the toes down towards the mat. Open your knees. Lift and squeeze for 3. Lower, belly in. Open, nice and wide. Lift and squeeze close. Relax those shoulders. 2. Tap. Open, lift, squeeze. Final time, please. Lower those toes, open your knees, lift, and squeeze. Take your feet down. And if you need a bit more stability here, you can have your feet a little bit wider. If you want to challenge your balance, you can have your feet and knees closer together. Take your arms up overhead. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, you lift the head, lift the arms, and you roll up. You might not come up this far, you might come up further, and then we're going to come on down again. So just practicing some roll-ups. If you needed to, as you bring the arms forward, you could tuck the hands behind the legs and pull onto the legs to lift you up. And that still might be tricky, might be easy for you. Remember, everyone is different. Don't force yourself. Just try and get a little bit more from the move each time. Give me 2. And articulate the spine down. And reach your arms. We are going to hold it up on this one. Come on up. So this is like your roll up, not the chin. Imagine I'm there pulling your wrists. I'm pulling your wrists. I'm pulling your wrists. And you come on up. And you relax down. And we're going to go for some side work. So we're going to go for mermaid. So this can be done with your long or your short roller. Again, whatever you've got is fine. And I'd like you to have it under your right hand. And let's place our right foot on our left thigh. So the other leg is just tucked away behind you. Now in a moment we're going to be doing our mermaid move. I want you to imagine I'm there with you and my arm is just down the right hand side of your rib cage. You're going to lift up and over my arm. So you're not just going to collapse into the waist. So think up to the ceiling and then up and over my imaginary arm and give me a side bend. And then lift up tall. Inhale, take it over. Lovely, and get that reach. Again, you're working within those 2 imaginary panes of glass here. So it's side bend only. Take it over. For now, it's side bend only. Take it over. And lift. This time, we're going to take it over, then we're going to rotate down. So we side bend only. And then you rotate and take your left arm onto your foam roller. Now, I want you to stretch out as long as you can. Really lengthening through that left arm. Press both arms into your foam roller and start looking up at the wall in front of you. Now, we pull the foam roller towards us with straight arms, so we've brought the back into a bit of extension. Now I want us to flex down, so we're going to lift the crown of the head up, scoop the belly, and then dive the crown of the head to the mat, so you're rounding the spine. And then you go to that long spine, and then you look up, and then you press your arms into the foam roller to lift you. So just working through the different planes of movement through the spine. Crown of the head lifts to the ceiling before it dives down to your mat. And then you stretch and reach through that left arm in particular and start to look up, press your arms down to lift you up. Flex down. And then we hold it down here. You can cross your arms or bring yourself to whatever position is comfortable for your upper body. I want you to lift your left leg up, so it's like you're cocking the leg, and lower halfway down. Lift it up. And a little release. Give me 4. Little lower. Try and keep those shoulders easy. Give me 3. Nice range of movement there. You're lifting the outside of the knee and the outside of the ankle the same height. Give me 2. And 1. Hold it high, and we're going to pulse it small and high. So hopefully you're just going to feel the outside of the bottom muscles working. So my watch keeps beeping at me. Excuse that. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the leg down. Okay, and bring yourself up. I'm going to spin you around, and we're going to work your other side. So we're remembering we're not just leaning, we're trying to get that nice banana shape of the spine. Tuck your back foot behind you. Okay. Think about pane of glass in front of you and behind. Reach this arm. Energy through the tips of the fingers. Energy from the crown of the head and side bend. And stretch. And lift up. Love seeing this move on my screen. Everyone looks really beautiful and synchronized. Give me 3. Remember my hands under your waist there. You're lifting up and over it, so we're not just collapsing. And 2. Give me that stretch. And lift. Try not to spin down to face the mat. Try and keep your rib cage squared to the wall in front of you. And then we do spin it down. Okay, so let us get our full stretch first of all. Feeling that through the right shoulder now in a really lovely way. And then press into your foam roller to gaze up. Arms stay straight as you pull it in. Got this lovely lift of the breastbone before the crown of the head goes up and over. Imagine there's a beach ball in front of you. You're hollowing your belly out over the beach ball first of all. But then it goes flat at your mat as you go to that long spine. Reach, look up and pull in. Okay, 2 more please. Diving down. Belly button into your backbone. And stretch. Remember that right shoulder. Reach through those right fingertips. Coming up with a beautiful lengthened spine. Last one please. Take it down. And then bring yourself to your most comfortable position, ready for that cock the leg move. So, my left leg never wants to lift up either, which is always a bit awkward. Lift your leg up and bring it down. So everything is quiet here. You're trying not to tense your shoulders, you're trying to keep them relaxed. Just working here from the outside of the right hip. Give me 3. You can go down lower. If that feels better for you, you can just come off your foam roller altogether. Remember, we never push ourselves into a position that our body doesn't want to be in. Last one. Hold it up and pulse. Pulse. Oh, this leg's definitely very different to the other. Give me 4, 3, 2, and take it down. Draw your foam roller towards you. And I am going to roll you onto your back, and we are going to do some bridges with our feet on the foam roller. So remember, you can do these moves with your feet on the floor. This sometimes is really crampy for people on their hamstrings. So we need to think about keeping the shoulders really connected So the pelvis is light and our legs aren't overworking. So as we started, your feet and your knees are hip distance apart, so just think cheekbones. Arms pressing down. Feel the shoulder blades connect down to the mat, and remember the option, you can turn your palms to face in if you feel that connects your shoulders more. Play with that. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, peel your pelvis up, and then your lower back, and then your mid back, and come all the way up to your bridge. Now drop your ribs heavy here again. Watch your knees are not flaring. And on your next exhale, really lengthen your spine out, down onto the mat. So because our feet are elevated, we're going to find a lot more movement through the spine. Breathe in, release at the bottom. Breathe out, peel up. Oh, my legs are cramping, I don't normally do this. Whew. Breathe in, ribs heavy, neck long. Breathe out, and come on down. I haven't worked with a foam roller for such a long time because I didn't think many people had them at home, but obviously we do, so we can incorporate them more. Coming up, I know they're a really popular piece of equipment for most of you. Hold it at the top of this one. So your ribs are heavy. Feel like you're pressing your kneecaps forwards. You've created length there through the thighs. Okay, everything quiet, but float your left leg up. Remember, this can be done on the floor if you wish. Left foot comes down. So we're thinking about quietness in the rest of the body as the right leg lifts up and take it down. And we're always working on this unilateral work in Pilates. We're always making sure that your more dominant side can't take over. That's why we always do lots of one-armed, one-leg stuff. Right leg for 3. Take it down. Have we still got that strong shoulder connection? So again, the bend in the knee doesn't change. It's a lift from the hip. Take it down. Last time, please. Softly your foot comes down, and then melt your spine down to the mat. And I just want you to take your legs long here. Take your legs long, let them part a little bit. And I just want you to start circling your ankles opposite directions to each other. Remembering how hard our ankles work all of the time. And it's really important just to give them a little bit of love and attention. They deserve it. Change direction when you're ready. Just noticing if one ankle feels different to the other. I've always got a bit of clunking and clicking in my right ankle. And that's just fine. And then I let the feet go heavy. I'm going to pull the foam roller up towards my bum. In fact, I'm going to wiggle forward. So we are going to be taking the foam roller underneath our sacrum. And I'm going to hold the edges of it. So again, this can be done with the long or the short one. Or it can be done on the floor. But I quite like it with the foam roller under my sacrum. I'm going to lift my legs up. And then I'm going to reach them up to the ceiling. I want to stretch the front of the hips a bit. If you think we've all been sat probably a lot more than usual, I'm just going to take my left leg long away from me, and I'm just going to feel that openness through the front of the hip. Now I'm going to let my right leg come a bit closer towards me, so my legs are in my scissors position, and then I'm going to switch. And I'm going to switch. So I'm not doing any pulsing yet. I'm just feeling that stretch through the front of the hip on the leg going away from me. Stretch down the back of the leg that's coming towards me. And then we're going to add to it. So we go to our splits position and we pulse both legs and switch. We pulse and switch. So that little pulse adds that extra stretch. But can we again think about the belly not popping up into our t-shirt? Shoulders are heavy, neck long. Just give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. Your right leg is reaching away from you. Now I want you to bend the right knee and just find the floor with your toes. We're going to bicycle. So left leg now goes away from you. Bend the knee, tap the floor, and the knee pulls in, and then the leg straightens. So it's all about this hip release, this hip mobility. Try and tap the front of the mat. You're reaching the leg as far as possible away from you. Again, it's lovely to see your legs moving on my screen. When you're ready, change direction. So now I'm tapping my toes as close to the foam roller as possible, and then I'm reaching my toes to the front of the mat. Give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both legs are lifted. We're going to go for a helicopter type movement. So let your left leg come towards you, your right leg go away, so you're in your splits again. Your legs circle out to the sides of the room. Oh, have I got room? Yeah. And then my right leg is towards me, my left leg is away, and then they meet in the middle. Okay, I can't remember which way we did. Let your left leg go away from you, right leg towards you, circle. And then the legs meet in the middle. Okay, keep switching legs. Right leg away, left leg towards you, circle the legs round, and they meet. And let's go for 5. So feel that beautiful movement from the hips, legs moving like helicopters. 4. Oh, such a lovely stretch. And 3. And 2. Can you get a little bit more from it? It's a really juicy move. Last one, please. And then your legs lift to the ceiling. I need to just tuck it under my sacrum a bit more. I'm going to press my hands into my foam roller, and I'm going to go into a rollover. So that might work for you, that might not. You can miss this if you would like to. I tap my toes towards the floor behind me. I keep my legs together, and then I'm rolling my spine back down. So it's just a lovely opening for the spine. Take a deep breath in when your pelvis comes down. Exhale, up and over. Can you tap your toes a bit closer to the mat? Keep your legs underneath the low ceiling as you roll your pelvis back down to your foam roller. 2 more, please. Up, up and over. Use your hands to press down to lift you up. My legs are staying together tonight, and I roll back down under the low ceiling until my pelvis comes down. My legs are up to the ceiling bit. I'm choking myself on my top. Last one, please. Up and over. Looking for the floor with your toes. Squeezing your legs together as you melt your spine. Down. And when you're ready, take your feet down. And move your foam roller out from under your pelvis. And I just want you to tuck it out of the way for a moment. Draw your knees into your chest and rock your back from side to side. I'm just going to grab a drink and check my class notes. Okay. Take your feet down and grab your foam roller. We're going to tuck it under the upper middle back. And we're just going to get a little bit of movement in that really tight spot. Sometimes you see people get a bit hunched over as they get older. We're just going to release that now. And it does get really sticky. So it's nice to give it a little bit of attention. So it's kind of under, tips of your shoulder blades, knees are bent, feet on the floor. Hands are behind your head. And I'd like you to breathe in, just release over your foam roller. Let your elbows go wide. Now don't force anything. And then exhale, we come up. I'm not pulling myself up with my hands. I just tilt my pelvis back towards me here. And then I let my tailbone sink into the mat as I release over my foam roller. And then I breathe out, coming up. Elbows come in a little bit. Pelvis tilts towards you. Give me 4. Release over. And as you come up, you're closing the gap between your hip bone and your bottom rib. Elbows in a bit, because as you take your elbows wide and then back in, you're getting that movement into that sticky bit of spine. Exhale completely as you come up. Tilt the pelvis. And 2. So I don't know about you, but on my first one, I felt there's no movement at all. How do you feel? It doesn't take long just to release it. Now you've all got a foam roller at home. This is a really nice thing to do even if you're just laying watching the TV. Take it over. And we lift. Okay, I'm going to turn you onto your side and we are just going to massage out this little bit here. So we are going to go onto the neck and the upper back again shortly. I'm going to have both of my knees bent and I'm taking it just kind of where my armpit is, but a little bit lower. Let your arm go heavy. Take your other hand behind your head. Again, it's going to be elbow in, elbow out, but I want you just to roll forwards. Let your elbow come in. And then roll back, let your elbow come up. So we're just rolling forwards and backwards on the foam roller, just working through any tension in those muscles, kind of on the side, upper side of the back here. Oh my God, that's tight. And give me 3, take it down, elbow drops in. And then lift it up. And 2. My mat smells very nice. One of the other teachers must have had some perfume on because I don't think it's me that smells really nice. Lift and twist. Last one, please. Rotate down. And spin it up, gaze up to the ceiling. And then I want you to find where your most sticky spot is there and just niggle over it. Breathing through it, let your breath just help relax you. This can be quite tight on people, so just don't force anything. And when you're ready, help yourself up. Okay. And again, one side might be different to the other, and that's perfectly normal. This is my right side now. So, yeah, you might see me wincing. So legs bent again. Find where your armpit is. Obviously, you know where that is. And then just take it down a little bit more. Take your hand behind your head. Oh, I've got to psych myself up. Roll down. And then roll up. Oh, this is the tight bit. And roll down. So if you're breathing properly, which I obviously wasn't then, that should make it a little bit easier. Remember, when we're breathing correctly, that just helps to slow our nervous system down. All of the muscles become a little bit more relaxed. Everything just feels a little bit nicer. 2 more, please. So you can always readjust if you're not feeling anything. If it's in the right place, you will know it. 1 more. Spin the ribs down. And spin them up. And then you come to your tight spot and just work over it, just breathing through it, just niggling. It's a bit like a trigger point release massage where they find that spot and they just niggle their thumb into it. And whew, that one's over. Okay, help yourself up. We are going to do our hamstrings now, so the upper part of the top of our legs. So, let me turn to face you actually. So I want it to be on the back of your right thigh, and your left knee, you're going to bend, let me go to the side. Okay, so you can lift your bum and just roll backwards and forwards. In fact, I might use my wobbly one for this. The wobbly ones are really good for getting into a deep massage. But the bum is lifted, I don't know, I'll go to the side again. And you're just rolling backwards and forwards. And you can turn your toes to face inwards a bit, so you get towards the inner thigh a little bit. Or you can turn it outwards just to get the back outer part of the thigh. And if you would like a bit more from it, you can take your other leg on top of it just to add a bit of pressure. But obviously your arms are getting a good workout here as well. So you choose the level that works for you, but try and get the full length of the back of the legs as much as you can. And then we release. So I'm not going to go straight into double legs. So I've got it halfway up the back of the long leg. Take your right foot to the floor and roll. And again, have a good feel about here. Where do you feel tighter? When you're ready, or if you're ready, you can stack the other leg on top just to add that bit of pressure. Let's try and get up towards the bottom. These muscles run the full length of the top of the leg. And release. Okay, onto our calves. So now take your right calf, about midway up. Okay, I'm just trying to think where it would be better to have this other leg. Let me do it with the long one, just so I can think the best way. Okay, yeah. So have your foot behind the foam roller now, your left foot behind the foam roller, and just roll out. I'm knocking my drinks over. And again, it's about spinning that leg bone inwards a little bit to get into the inner part of your calves, and then spinning outwards. You want to cover the whole area and get close to the ankles. Again, I'm going to turn to the side. If you wanted to, once again, you can stack the other leg on top. But that really loads the move. So make sure you feel happy with whatever you're doing. Just another couple of rolls. We're going to go into a nice neck massage after. Bum down and switch legs. So first of all, I'd recommend taking the foot onto the floor in front of your foam roller or closer to you and ease yourself into it. And this is really good, especially at the moment when none of us can have massage because of lockdown. Remember, if you wish, load the other leg. But this is really important just to have this time to ourselves and get this release, because we might be holding on to more tension than normal. It's been a really stressful time. So just to find this bit of time for yourself is paramount. And take it down. Just roll your shoulders out a couple of times. Make sure we're not holding tension there, because we're going to go onto the front of our thighs now. We're not going to go over our knees, and we're going to prop ourselves up. So the foam roller is about halfway up your thighs again. You're in a forearm plank, so you press the forearms away from the mat. Your toes are just hovering. You're pulling your belly and your rib cage up towards you, and I propel myself backwards and forwards with my elbows here. So just rolling out. Again, the lower back isn't arching here because you're just pulling the belly up. So there's my legs in parallel, knuckles and the big toes are together. But I want to get into the inner thighs a bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spin my thigh bones outwards in the hip sockets. So my toes face out and my heels face into one another. And then I'm getting into those inner thigh muscles a little bit more. Or not inner thighs, but into the inside of the front of the leg. I'm babbling, you can tell it's really painful for me because I've lost the ability to speak. And then I'm just going to take my toes down so I can spin my thigh bones inwards. So my toes face in, heels face out. That's not being forced on my ankles, it's come from the thigh bones, spinning in at the hips. And your toes now lift and you roll backwards and forwards. And you breathe. Just a few more seconds here. Still pressing your forearms away from the mat to keep those shoulders strong. And when you're ready, help yourself off. And we're going to take it nicely into the shoulders now. We're just going to get a bit of a neck massage as well. So we take the foam roller back underneath the shoulder blades where it was a moment ago. Support the weight of your head. If you've got long hair, just tuck it out of the way. If you've got your hoodie on, Ali, make sure you're not going to run over your hood and strangle yourself again. Okay, let everything go heavy. Lift your bum up. And this time I press myself backwards and forwards using my heels. And I'd like you to close your eyes now if you're happy to, just so you can really feel any niggly spots, anywhere that you're really holding tension. And then I'm going to twist, so I've got more weight on my right shoulder and I'm rolling out my right shoulder blade, but make sure that's not too much for you, listening to your body. And then I come through center and I roll out my left shoulder. I seem to be wiggling towards the back of the room. And then I come back to center. I'm going to roll out both shoulder blades at the same time, just because that's a bit easier, a little bit nicer. And when you're ready, take your bottom down And you are going to just push your foam roller so it's underneath your neck. Take your hands either down by your sides or you can hold either side of it. And I'd like you to slowly start turning your head side to side. You can lift the foam roller up a little bit more if you need to. You can press down a little bit more if you would like. And just breathe as you mobilize but massage out the neck at the same time. So let your head just turn. And with your eyes closed, just bring your focus back to your breath a little bit more. And then bring your nose to center and we start drawing circles with our nose. So we're circling the head. Just a couple more this direction, please. And when you're ready, change direction. Last one. And then I just want you to take the foam roller up a little bit more so it's on the very base of your skull. There's two kind of knobbly bits where your skull and the neck meet. And I just want you to roll side to side here. And often we hold tension here. A lot of stress, headaches can come from this area. So I just want you to work through any tight spots. And if you find anywhere tight, again, as we did earlier, just work through it, niggle over it. You can hold it still and just press down a bit harder. And just enjoy that movement. And just enjoy having time to slow everything down. And we are done. So don't jump up too quickly. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you're feeling nice and relaxed now.